The next group of endocrine glands that we have here, the thyroid, the parathyroid, and the thymus. And these are all kind of located in the neck and the mediastinum region. The neck right here, right below the larynx, is where we see our first couple, the thyroid gland. And on the back side is the parathyroid gland. I don't think they show a picture of it. It's not that fantastic. But the thyroid gland just is within the neck there. It's right below your Adam's apple, okay? If you see that big protuberance there, that's your larynx. And that big protuberance is the thyroid gland. In men, it's much more pronounced because of the thyroid cartilage development. In women, it's not as developed, so there's not that huge Adam's apple there that you do see in men. It does produce a couple of hormones here, T3 and T4, okay? T3 and T4, that's their names, tetraiodothyronine or thyroxine, triiodothyronine, T3 and T4. Let's just keep it simple. Okay. Excuse me. These are usually collectively referred to as your thyroid hormones. Excuse me. Calcitonin is here as well. It's another hormone that is produced by the thyroid gland. Has a much more potent purpose during childhood. Maybe not as much later on in life. There is some debate upon it. I know, debate over glands. Yeah, there is. Calcitonin, it promotes calcium deposits in bone formation. So it gets it into the bones. T3 and T4 help to facilitate a number of different things there. T3 and T4 are made by iodine. That's why you see the word iodine in there. And when iodine gets into the blood, it helps to bring it on in and helps to create these different hormones that we do see here, T3 and T4. Parathyroid here on the backside, and T3 and T4, they're going to be helping involved with various different aspects of metabolism. Sorry, didn't say that. Parathyroid here, it raises blood calcium. Calcitonin lowers it. I'll put lowers it. If we are facilitating, lowers blood calcium. If we are facilitating its movement into bones, we are obviously taking it from the blood into the bones. So it does help to lower it within the blood, where here, parathyroid hormone, again, found on the backside, posterior aspect of the thyroid gland. It raises blood calcium by stimulating bone resorption. Fancy way to say bone destruction. Okay, this is why getting enough calcium within your diet is pretty helpful. Calcium does a number of things. Oh, the thymus itself. The thymus is unique. Not that any of these are not really unique and interesting, but the thymus gland actually drapes over the heart. That's right. It actually drapes over the heart. It's massive. It's huge as a child. It continues to grow until about 19, 20, and then it starts to slowly atrophy away over the course of the remainder of your days. It is involved with stimulating production of lymphocytes. The immune response is very massively potent as a child, and it starts to wane as you get older and older and older. That's why kids, most kids, when they get, I will never forget when my kids got the swine flu or the bird flu or whatever flu has been out there since they've been alive. They came home with a sniffle, no big deal. I was down for like 3 or 4 days and my wife was down for like a week. So good gosh, man, kids have a very good immune response, normally speaking. Thymus is one of those reasons why. Again, breaking a word down into its component parts. All of these are involved with metabolism, with moving blood calcium into the bone, or helping to facilitate blood calcium to rise within the blood here. So we have a couple of words here that are kind of associated with the thyroid gland. Emaciation, calcitonin, and an antagonist. Well, calcitonin, excuse me, that means calcium. Okay, that means calcium. N is pressure, or no, N is, I'm sorry, a substance. And TON is kind of interesting here. It means tension or pressure. I'm just going to put this. Tension or pressure. Sorry. Okay. So this is, again, we talked about calcitonin earlier. So it's a hormone that helps move calcium from the blood to the bones. N is the substance, calcium. Calcium is the substance, and it helps to increase tension or pressure. Helps to give the bones more strength so it can handle more forces, tension, pressure. Emaciation, I'm going to go with emace. Okay. This to me, this means make thin. Shun is always a process. So emaciation is the process of becoming thin. Now, you would, by that, just clinical breakdown, etymology, if you will, of what these words mean, of what this word means. That sounds like it's normal. It's actually an abnormal process of making somebody thin, but you know, whatever. We'll just put abnormal. Abnormal thinness. Abnormal thinness. This is usually due to hyperthyroidism, but I probably wouldn't ask that aspect of it. I'd ask you more of what do the component parts mean. The last one is an antagonist. Ant is the prefix. It means against. Agon means to fight. To fight. And ist means an agent. To fight against an agent. Where have we seen this? Parathyroid hormone and calcitonin. They are antagonists. One raises blood calcium, one lowers blood calcium. So they would be referred to as antagonists of one another. Oh, we have some associated things here. Hyperthyroidism. Again, what does the word mean? Okay, I'm not going to get in. The book gets into really what in the heck is going on with all of it and explains it, gives a lot of diagnosis with it. That's really above and beyond what I really want you to do. I want you to break down the damn words like we have this entire part of the semester. Hyperthyroidism. This is pertaining to an overactive thyroid gland. Okay, an excessive production and secretion of thyroid hormones. Hyperthyroidism can lead to goiter. Okay, goiter is an enlargement of the thyroid hormone. When a thyroid becomes overactive, it becomes enlarged. Shockingly, when your thyroid becomes hypoactive, it can enlarge as well. Really weird, really unique. There's some kind of different mechanisms, but really hyper and hypothyroidism, both can cause an enlargement of the thyroid, and that's goiter. I would definitely know that. Okay, enlarged goiter or enlarged thyroid, enlarged thyroid. I definitely know that. I would know what exophthalmosis means, and exophthalmosis refers to the eyes bugging out. This is when the eyes bulge out. Bulging of eyes. And these are both commonly seen with Graves' disease. Okay, exophthalmosis and Graves. Graves is an autoimmune. I honestly don't remember if I would ask, but autoimmune, body is fighting itself. Okay, the body is fighting itself. If we have hypothyroidism, if we have hyperthyroidism, I would ask you probably hypothyroidism. Again, hypo means diminished. Okay, hypo means diminished. So we have an inadequate or a decrease in production of and secretion of thyroid hormones. So those would be in, opposite things there. So those, again, breaking it down. Thyroiditis, probably something I might ask again. Itis is always inflammation of. So those are always great words to kind of break down. I probably won't ask about it on the exam, so don't worry about it. I'll just put a cross through it. Hashimoto's disease is a hypothyroidism. It's an autoimmune hypothyroidism, or Graves would be a hyperthyroidism issue. Myxedema, don't worry about it. It's a severe form of hypothyroidism, so I'll just cross that one out. My apologies. I thought I got rid of these. This is thyroid deficiency in children. Really in infancy. This really affects infants. I don't really know if I'll ask about it. It's kind of above and beyond, but I'll put this is a thyroid condition associated with infants. They weren't exposed to enough iodine in through breast milk and whatnot. This leads to some severe mental retardation, slowing the growth of the brain, stunts growth. So there's a lot of slowed physical growth, which is what retard means, to slow. So it's one of the most common thing, I believe, worldwide that can be prevented with just a little bit of sprinkle of salt on some stuff. So that is specific with infants. Again, hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism. Low and excessive. Goiter, exophthalmosis, and Graves' disease, they're always associated with one another. Enlargement of the thyroid, bulging of the eyes. Thyroidectomy, ectomy is always a surgical procedure, so a surgical removal in this case. So that would be something, again, knowing what ectomy means. Knowing what itis means. I don't know where am I? There we go. There we go. Don't know what's going on. Thyroidectomy, again, surgical procedure to remove it. Thyroiditis, inflammation of. I'm not going to ask about a severe toxic situation associated with the thyroid, but that's what that is. It's excessive thyroid production. I'm not going to get into it here. We can talk about excessive thyroid production up here.